Hello everyone and welcome back. Thank you so much for stopping by. So my people, this is another powerful and a big revelation from Nnamdi Kanu, aka Madam Pinto, of what is happening in the Southeast and how she replied or give Wotowoto to Joe Igbokwe as well as Soludo, who said that military is needed in the Southeast, that Biafra agitation is a scam, and also Soludo saying that releasing Mazi and Kanu will not stop the insecurity in the Southeast, which Soludo is trying to create another security agent, which going to cause another mayhem in the Southeast, just like in Imo State, where they created a bubago. My people, this video is a must watch because Nnamdi Kanu really exposed many things that are going on in the Southeast. Just watch this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it so that other of our brothers and sisters will get opportunity to watch this video, and also give me a thumbs up so that YouTube will recommend this video to other people to watch. And also, please, at the end of this video, I'm going to put Nnamdi Kanu's number on the comment section. Please don't hesitate to call her and also render any support you can in order for her to continue this wonderful job that she is doing. So my people, let's go ahead and watch the video together.
Recently, there have been reactions to what Professor Soludo, the governor of Anambra State, said yesterday. A couple of persons are not in support of the things he said, but some other persons are reasoning with what he said. According to Professor Soludo, the governor of Anambra State, he said that some elements are under the conscription or umbrella of the Biafran movement or Biafran agitation, and they're creating mayhem. He said a lot of cultists, criminals are perpetuating mayhem and terrorism, and because of that, there's going to be a new security outfit called Udogachi. Now, apparently, if you know as well, that the same thing is also going on in Imo State, at the same operation outfit, security outfit from Iwago. Even there's also another one right now. Very recently, the outfit actually were able to apprehend some IPOB members. That's what we read about that. I think earlier today or yesterday, we read about that particular fact, that apparently some individuals in the Southeast conscripted to be IPOB members have been caught by a particular group. This group or this security outfits are actually the ones responsible for being able to apprehend them, and they're from the state government. It's almost like Operation Udogachi. So it's the same thing that Anambra State governor is trying to implement in his state as well. But the question is, will this security outfit do due diligence? Will they be used as a tool for political whims and caprices of these politicians? We don't know that yet. Now, in reaction to that, Joe Igbokwe actually made a statement, and we know him as one of the chieftains of the All Progressives Congress. He has stated that there is nothing like Biafra agitation in the Southeast. He described the agitation as a scam and money-making venture for criminals. Igbokwe actually urged Southeast governors to seek military intervention from President Bola Tinubu in curbing the activities of criminals masquerading as Biafra agitators in the region. Which other military intervention are you asking the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to deploy to the Southeast? So you mean all the military checkpoints, the entire militarization in the Southeast is not enough? You want the Southeast leaders to ask President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to still conscript and deploy more military men to the Southeast? In what sense? And again, you saying that there is nothing like Biafra agitation, that is a criminal scam. Well, right here in the studio, I actually have someone very, very interesting that will give us details, his own purview to this development. Is Nnamdi Kanu, known as Madam Pinto. She's the President Igbo Women Assembly. Madam Pinto, thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you for having me once again, Esther.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, viewers, for staying put to contribute to this conversation.
Madam Vito, I hope you're not tired, because I know you came in early today, so thank you. I hope you are not tired, because it's essential for us to have this conversation. Joe Igbokwe coming to make this statement seems to resonate with what a lot of people are saying. Since Simon Ekpa was apprehended within the Finnish custody, a lot of persons are now taking a deep look into the whole Biafra agitation movement, the essence of self-referendum, and freedom. And just yesterday, the same Chukuma Soludo said, as it is now, as insecurity stands now in the Southeast, specifically Anambra State, that even if Nnamdi Kanu is released, it doesn't guarantee that insecurity in the Southeast will be quelled or it will be copped out, because these individuals have tasted blood. They're enjoying the money they're making out of the nuance of Biafran agitators, or the release of Nnamdi Kanu, that they will continue what they are doing regardless of Nnamdi Kanu's freedom. And now Joe Igbokwe is asking for more military deployment in the Southeast, asking the Southeastern governors to ask and beg President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for military intervention. He has completely denounced that there is nothing like Biafran agitation, that it's a scam. Would you blame him for saying things from that purview when you have persons from Uwazurike to Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa? And most of them right now are in custody, specifically Simon Ekpa and Nnamdi Kanu. So the entire Biafran struggle and the essence for independence, self-referendum and freedom, is it a dream that will ever be actualized, or is going to be something that everybody will just hold in their heart, that at some point maybe we will get our utopia? What would you say to that?
Thank you very much, Esther. Now, the question is, have Joe Igbokwe ever stood to ask why the agitation? What caused the agitation in the first place? Is this agitation justified? That would be the first question. Is this agitation justified? Are these the first to agitate for something? Why are they not seeing this as people trying to say something, trying to complain? Now, if you look, Joe Igbokwe is not in the Southeast. So I'm sure he has not traveled maybe in the last 1 year. And if he has traveled, either he traveled by flight, a private vehicle come and pick him to his house. And when he finished whatever it is he wants to do, he goes back. So he's not in any position to even tell what is happenings in the Southeast. So Joe Igbokwe is simply a politician who says things to, he feeds from politics. I know politics is more or less the bedrock of propaganda. So the more you say things that interest the government, the chances, the chances you get an appointment or get a better job from just being a propaganda. So I see Joe Igbokwe in that light. If you look at Igbos and the rancor between Igbos and Yorubas, Joe Igbokwe heated up that very polity from what he was saying in the days of being a commissioner in Lagos State, by trying to force the Igbos to support Ahmed. He said so many things. He said you cannot come to people's land.
Yes.
So this issue of people's land was originated from an Igbo man, because he wants to keep his job, because he wants to feed, So listening to Joe Igbokwe, how can you say, and already, does Joe Igbokwe know what it means by a military being in a place? Anywhere military is, they will turn it into a war zone. Now, with the military in the Southeast, you still want more militaries. Now, the question I'm going to put to Joe Igbokwe is, in the last 2 years, the military has been in the Southeast. Has crime rate reduced? What have we achieved by the militarization of Southeast? Have we even questioned the military? So why are they not combating crime? Even the ones there. So he's saying military. So, some of us are pushing for the government to pull out the militaries. They are not
dismantle those checkpoints.
Yes, they are not. They are doing more harm than good. In fact, we've accused the military of having a hand in the crime rate. I am, as a journalist, I went and I covered and I saw things, and I've challenged them several occasions to deny my accusations. I've accused them of having a hand in kidnapping. I've accused them of having a hand in enforcing the sit at home. I met it. I saw it. I confronted them. They nearly killed me. There is nothing like IPOB. There is nothing like IPOB. They've been crushed. IPOB is a movement. People bought into it out of their desperation to get a better deal from a country they felt they belong to. 80% of Igbo people patronize IPOB in their hearts because they believe that these are the only group that is presenting their case. You won't see anybody on ground to say, I'm IPOB, to carry gun. Esther, I challenge even the military to come out and show us IPOB. You get it? It doesn't exist. So the militaries are there for a different mission. From my own understanding, okay, have Joe Igbokwe even queried the federal government? How can you push military to Southeast and also engage a militant to Southeast, to guide Southeast? Have you ever seen all of them come out to question why Asari Dekubo was engaged? And then you are still looking for criminals in the Southeast. It doesn't make sense. Have Joe Igbokwe, I took it upon myself when I covered the what is happening in the Southeast, I took it upon myself to be joining vehicles to travel rather than flying, that I can witness. Yes, I can monitor this and what the militaries are doing. I'm pushing our youths from Southeast to youths are living in drones. Sure. Did Joe Igbokwe know? He doesn't. Joe Igbokwe is just saying things that will interest the federal government. He has no interest in the Southeast. Joe Igbokwe has no family in the Southeast. His children are not in the Southeast. I've been to his house before. I know he has male children. Where are his male children? So he can say whatever he likes, because most of these politicians move their children abroad. And they're after what they will gain. You understand? So they are really not interested in the people. They are interested in their pocket. Their children are, when they grow old, their children will move them abroad. So their interest is not on the well-being or welfare of the Southeasterners. They are even using Southeast as a platform to get job, to get appointment from the government. Wow. So yes, that's why you see them say those things. Because me, that's on ground, my children are in Nigeria. I can afford to send them abroad. But I said, I now look at sending my children abroad. This is another slavery entirely, because it is population that develops a nation. Now we keep on shipping our children. So Joe Igbokwe, if you go and check, maybe his children and wife is abroad. Most of the commissioners in the South is even other local governments. Their families are abroad. So what are their interests in the South? Is their interest? Why would you occupy a position when you don't have interest? If your family is not in the Southeast, whose interests are you now protecting? Who are you ruling? You know, so these are the issues that people that present themselves as leaders from the Southeast are not actually leaders. They are just there to see whatever they can grab on the platform of Southeast. They have no single interest. For Joe Igbokwe, upon everything, all the evidences that has come out from Southeast, number one, we are querying the federal government. Okay, now I'm putting this to Joe Igbokwe. Before the military moved to Southeast, we don't have this kind of insecurity in the Southeast. It was peaceful. Yes, it was very peaceful. All they do is sit at home. Now, why then did you move military to ease movement? Militaries were the ones that are in fact, they now put Southeast under siege. I confronted and I said this to their face. I said, sir, from what I can see, after touring the whole Southeast is under siege by the military. I confronted them. I have the date and I have the checkpoint. If the military says it's a lie, let them bring out people that went into this confrontation with me at Osumo, where they nearly shot me. Because I did not they will extract information from citizens and give it out to kidnappers. Otherwise, why will a military man ask you question up to where you come from, up to your family? After looking at your passport, they will take your name and ask you up to your village, up to your family. Now we are looking for kidnappers. So they are the ones that control the road. They are the ones that see people coming from abroad. They will give out information. Have Joe Igbokwe taken time to go home, ask questions, and look at what is going on in the South? If Southeast was peaceful before the military moved in, and the military they moved in, crime rates heightened. What do you say to that? And then we now discovered that the federal government on its own contracted a criminal. We all know a military. Let me not call him a criminal, a militant. Move him to Southeast. He came to national TV to say it. I was sure that even the media themselves played it down. Now the likes of Joe Igbokwe did not see it and did not query the federal government. And now Joe Igbokwe is talking about criminals in the Southeast when already the federal government himself sponsored these criminals. Now, the question I'm going to ask Joe Igbokwe, since he knows better, what kind of security do you think the person of Asari Dekubo can move to Southeast and you are looking for non-government. If you go to Southeast, you will see this sense of peace everywhere.
Quiet.
Quiet, and you now look at people's face, those criminals, you want to see through them and see, you see busy people moving about their business. Now, what happens in the Southeast is a kind of a guerrilla attack. You see some people moving with Sienna attack and leave the state. The people committing this crime are non-state actors. Now, there are some criminals,
That's in contradiction to what Soludo said. Soludo said yesterday that 99% of those committing criminality in Anambra State, the Southeast, are Igbos, and that 77% of them are non-state indigenes. They're not part of the state. When they see the crime as it has exacerbated, then they now flock in, do what they want to do, and go.
Now, the question I would put to Soludo, if you say it's Igbos, his son, number one, because his son is Igbo.
What?
Yes, my son is Igbo. I've challenged people. If you keep on saying Igbos, even in the whole Nigeria knew that we have criminals everywhere, but the rates at which Igbos engage in criminal activities is less than any other state. In fact, I read a rating by Bawa, okay. Daniel
Bawa.
Southeast is the lowest in terms of crime, even Southwest. But the thing is that the press has a way of blowing everything that comes from Southeast out of proportion. It's like there is a plan to destroy Southeast. You get it? Now, if Soludo says they are Southeasterners, he should bring his son first.
The NBS yesterday released a report on how much families of victims who were kidnapped had paid from 2023 to 2024. And it said 2.2 trillion naira. Then in terms of region, where the crime is high, the northeast, northwest, and then I think south before southeast. Southeast recorded
Southwest, the lowest.
No, southeast recorded the lowest.
Exactly.
As of this morning, the NBS is telling us that their website was hacked. That so whatever is released on that website should not be taken as fact. Okay. So a lot of conspiracy theory now came on board that just 24 hours or 28 hours or 42 hours that you released a report like this, which, like you said, and when it comes to the Southeast, there's this exacerbated exaggeration, which was clarified by the release of the NBS report. Now they're telling us that that report is not supposed, that we shouldn't take it serious, that their website was hacked. So would we say that the politicians are part of the conspiracy theories?
Now, the point is that I've said it time without number. The APC government that was constituted in 2015 have a plan for the Southeast. Because if you look at the activities of the former President Buhari, the Operation Python dance in the Southeast over youths that were agitating. You don't want to listen to them. In fact, Esther, it is on record that we've not really seen where the militaries and the IPOB or ECN have exchanged gun battle and they arrested youths, parade them on TV, and we see their faces and we confirm their families in the Southeast. I don't think it has happened. All you need here is whoever, in fact, if they arrest a thief, is an IPOB member. If you arrest a criminal, is an IPOB member. So I don't know, how do you know they are IPOB members? An IPOB member can be a thief. That doesn't mean he was a thief because he's an IPOB member. If somebody steals, call him a thief. If somebody kidnaps and IPOB said deny involvement, you don't put it on them. IPOB has come out uncountable times to say we don't do this. So when you catch a criminal, please call him a criminal. Like now, we have OPC in the Southwest. I have never, most of these boys are OPC members. I have never had any criminal caught before, and you now refer them to be OPC members. But the point, like you said, our politicians are the ones that are blowing these things out of proportion. Because why? They are trying to suppress the popularity of IPOB. And now, in so doing this, they don't even care what it does to Southeast, the harm it brings to Southeast. But out of their desperation to suppress this group, unfortunately, the way they are going about it will be very difficult. Because the more you try to suppress them, the more people are, getting interested in them. Because people on ground knew, in reality, that that's not the case. They knew that those that are harassing them are the militaries. If you go from Osumohu to Nnewi. Now you can't move on that houses, not because of unknown gunmen, not because of military. People are more afraid of the military than whatever you say that is. We think that even the unknown gunmen and whatever is fiction.
It's fiction.
It's fiction because you will not really witness it as it were. They tell us whatever they want us to hear, and the press carries it immediately and runs with it. For instance, the kidnapping in the Southeast, 80% of these reports is that the Fulani herdsmen are the one that engage in this kidnapping most of the time. Have you seen the military move to the bush to push them out? Why have they been silent on the activities of the Fulani herdsmen? In Enugu, the other time, 2 farmers were killed on their farm. And
that was the day after some
yes, and these people we kill occupy where they killed, and the so-called military will not move.
All right, Madam Pinto, I don't know how, because let's not generalize these things. I saw on X, I think 3 days ago, where one young man was apprehended. It was in the Southeast, and they're one of the persons that actually steal, kidnap, and all of that. And he was confessing, to some things, some crimes, and the names of some of his group members and what they do. Some crimes and the names of some of his group members and what they do. Some persons will reason with what Soludo said, that some young persons who have been kept redundant and nothing to do have used the whole Biafran struggle, knowing how a lot of Nigerians have sold themselves, especially those in the Southeast. They've sold themselves into that ideal, and so they're utilizing that to their advantage. Soludo said a lot of the Southeasterners have been brainwashed to believe that the agitators or according to him, the criminals are their heroes. Some persons are genuinely in the struggle for the attainment of the Southeast freedom. But the Chief of Defense Staff in a Monitor television program recently told the anchor that it is obvious that IPOB will deny their involvement in the criminality going on in the Southeast, and that the reason why they will say so is because a couple of them, or the back end, those who are financing, are very intelligent. They're educated persons. That it's not like how you have it in the North, where some of them are not educated, which drew criticism from several quarters. How do you know that the financiers of these persons committing this mayhem are not educated? People sit down and conspire to create chaos, and you say they're not educated enough for that kind of chaos to actually take place. So for him, he described that, this is what he says. He said, in contrast to profiles of bandits in the Northeast, who he described as largely illiterate, with those in the Southeast who are more aware of the implications of their actions, he argued that this motivates the IPOB members to deny their involvement in order to evade arrest and prosecution.
Okay.
So how do you describe that?
Okay, the point is that I think they're making excuses on why they should stay put in the Southeast. In the first place, they've been there for the past 2 years.
Yes.
The more they stay, the higher the crime rates. Now, before they moved in, there was nothing like crime. Is it saying that IPOB were not in the East? IPOB has been very much around since 2015. And from 2015 to 2023, 2022 or 2021, when they now move military, Southeast has been very peaceful. Now that brings to question, why did the crime rates now become higher when the military move in? That's the question we are going to ask Oga Army Man. Why did so are you saying that the IPOB went to sleep, or because the militaries were there now, they now try to engage in criminal activities to blackmail the militaries? It doesn't make sense. We all have sense. Now, I think the military should sit down and evaluate and look at who are these IPOB. What are their mission? What are their vision? What do they stand for? Before you now start branding them as criminals. When people kidnap in the South North, they don't say it's Boko Haram. Call a criminal a criminal. When you catch a criminal in the Southeast, deal with him as a criminal. And then please, these criminals, we don't get to see them. When you catch a criminal, hand them over to police to try.
But now that Chukuma Soludo is validating what the Chief of Defense Staff is saying, which culminated to Joe Igbokwe's reaction and response that he's been saying this thing since, that there is nothing like Biafran agitation, but it's a scam. And then the whole recent issue with Uwazurike and Simon Ekpa, the same traits or the same trail at which they were able to curry support and all. How do we break this rhetoric? How do we dismantle it?
Okay, now, if you release Nnamdi Kanu today, let's do a challenge. Like Nnamdi challenged, I think former governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha, made these comments before, and he said he's going to do a 3 million march. And of course, they do their mobilization. When they started the march, Nnamdi Kanu arrived in Owerri unannounced. Those marching with Rochas abandoned him and joined Nnamdi Kanu. People left their shop unlocked and joined Nnamdi Kanu. Now, if Soludo, politicians unfortunately don't know the extent and the magnitude or the effect of the things they say. Because out of their desperation to retain their job, they say anything and they don't know the harm it does. They don't face reality. Let them release Nnamdi Kanu today. Let Soludo call a meeting. Even his own commissioners will abandon him to go and listen to Nnamdi Kanu. Why does this young man draw a lot of crowd? Now, the only thing that people will try to fake is something that will draw people to them. Simon Ekpa was able to do what he did, whatever they said he did, because some people are desperate. They are looking for leaders. They now had to follow Simon Ekpa when Nnamdi Kanu was in prison. Are they looking at, okay, look at the number of people following the so-called Simon Ekpa and the number of people following Soludo, even as a governor. So we must face reality until the Southeastern leaders, both the leaders, the traditional leaders and the political leaders, sit down and analyze this IPOB and understand and ask and know what are they asking for. What they are asking for, is it off? What are their reasons? When you even talk about the agitation, these people are agitating in their mind. They are not on the road. They are not on the street. Now, most like Soludo said, they made the mistake of engaging a militant, moving him. In fact, our problem started the moment Asindiko was engaged and he moved criminal to SouthEast. Now, I think the federal government has finished using him. They abandoned him. What happens to his boys he brought to SouthEast? So they went on loose and started, of course, committing.
Survive,
yes. And then the militaries know them. They equally use them. Yes. Asari said, I quote Asari, the federal government engaged me to guide Southeast. And we were working hand in hand with the military. This kind of grievous accusation, did you say the military arrest him?
No.
He said the federal government engaged us. Did you say the federal government did not even respond? But the military came to play it down and said there was nothing like that. But you saw their men. His men have checkpoints in Imo State. So what did you do to that? How can you engage in a region that was peaceful? Then the governors were so desperate and they said, okay, people were afraid. Esther, when these things happened, I covered sit at home on my own as a journalist 4 times round the whole Southeast. I was on ground. Now, why did I cover it? I went to Enugu and the sit at home was, I went to Enugu. I had to go to Buka, local places to eat. And I engaged people in come. I realized that if there were 10 people, 9 will be in support of the sit at home and 1 will argue. So I decided to cover it and watch how it is done. Then I became alarmed. One day we were going for traditional marriage. I was in front of a vehicle and 3 aged women were at the back. I raised that issue. I was shocked to see how these mothers supported their children. How can we? This one said my son could not get a job. They were just complaining. And they said, I quote, since they say we should be staying at home, that one is good. We are not at risk of being shot. Let us stay at home. Let them release that young man. And I said, any movement you see mothers supporting their children, that's a problem. Now, instead of the leaders to sit down and look at what to do, what are the agitation of the youth, and present it to the federal government. The rest of Nigerians were willing and ready to listen, to see what we can do to pacify these people. That was why they supported Pinto in large number. Let us see what we can do to include these people into the system, rather than them presenting it. But because of their interest, political interest, they want to protect their interest. They were not looking for a way. They saw IPOB as in competition with them. They were looking for a way to suppress IPOB. They now brought military. Are the guys that some people want to come out, but they were afraid. Esther, I can assure you, I thought SouthEast, there was no, you won't see anybody say they're enforcing. Channels covered it, Arise covered it. You will see the road open and people will be in their houses. Now, I agree that probably 70% are in support of the sit-at-home and 30% we are not in support. And you want to bring the military so that those that want to support will now, come out. That was what they told us. That was what the military told us that they want to do. Esther, the moment the military entered SouthEast, it turned bloody. It turned to something else. Even you as a citizen, if you are moving on the road, when you approach the military checkpoint, there's this sense of fear they will put in you. They will make people to come down from their vehicles.
Harry Potter ist eine popkulturelle Sensation.
Malfoy, der ist ebenso angelegt, das Arschloch.
They will make people to come down from their vehicles. To move.
I want to ask something, because it has gotten to a point, like you said, that a conversation needs to be had and looked into. Who are these persons that are called IPOB? Is IPOB different from Biafra? Because for somebody to just come out and completely erode it to say that generally the Biafran struggle or the Biafran umbrella is a scam, and that he's backing what Professor Soludo is saying with the introduction of Operation Udogachi, so that they could clear out these criminals. A couple of people feel that is a means through which he wants to gain another possible support ahead of 20.
Of course, he did it for Pinto now. So
2025.
This will be the first
time. And then now he's advising the SouthEast governors to seek military intervention to curb the criminalities. So he made the call in a statement while he was supporting what Soludo said, that the entire ordeal, the entire conscript and idea of Biafra and IPOB and all of that is a scam completely taken up by some elites who intend to use a vulnerability of the, let's say, rate of poverty or vacuum in the SouthEast, to possibly put themselves in a higher ground or whatever it is that they intend to achieve. Now, here is the thing. You made a statement. You said there was a time there was a match during the administration of Okorocha, that is the former governor of Imo State, and that a lot of persons who were by the side or behind Okorocha went to where Nnamdi Kanu was. Is it possible that the politicians are afraid of the kind of, let me not use the word power, influence that he will?
That's the point.
And that if he comes out, they may literally not even give reverence to their leaders, but give reverence to him. A situation where for someone who is not a political leader, but somehow he encompasses an embodiment that is almost divine somehow, in the Southeast. That if he gives an order, they will rather go with the order that he gives than whatever it is the state governors give. So it is a deliberate attempt to keep him incarcerated. Could that be what it is?
No, the point is that Nnamdi Kanu is not rough.
Okay.
Do you know why these people come out to say whatever they like? Igbos don't kill easily. Igbos are not given to wasting blood easily. That's why they are saying all these things. Yoruba leaders will not say this about OPC. Hausa leaders cannot say this about Boko Haram. There are things you can't say. But because Igbos, even the IPOB are not rough. If IPOB are truly rough, they can't be making these statements now. They can't. Now, Nnamdi Kanu is passionate about the situation of their people. I think they uncovered certain things which we are now looking at. It might be true.
Okay.
Nnamdi Kanu said there is a plot to hand SouthEast over to the Fulanis. Now, from the activities of the federal government, by trying to create a sense of fear in the lives of the people, so that people will be leaving the SouthEast, that allegation is not far from being true. Why? You move in a place that has been deemed to be the most peaceful, have low crime rates. They have their peace. They said, okay, people are now saying, is it not even better? Let the military go. Let us be having our Monday sit at home, but have peace. That's what people are now praying for. Now, you now move military with police. It's not enough. You secretly moved an armed militia within that region. Can you tell me what the federal government stand to achieve by moving a militia? One thing, they want to use that militia to blackmail IPOB. So when those people go and shoot, they will say IPOB is shooting. They want to enforce sit at home. Now, when they now go to now why I moved to now cover it the last time was when they begin to shoot in weddings. Traditional wedding. I mean, it doesn't make sense. What has IPOB got to do? There were
Even burials.
Burials. So the thing is that to put fear so that people will stop going home. So what Nnamdi Kanu was alleging, we are now seeing it as to be true that federal government from 2015 till now has an evil plan against the South. Otherwise, are you saying that the main IPOB that we've not really seen word arms is more powerful than the military that will make you move a military?
But are we saying that there are no indeed criminal elements exacerbating mayhem, perpetuating mayhem in the South under the umbrella of this IPOB?
No. I stand here. I challenge them to prove it. Bring them. I see. You know why I'm saying this, Esther? I said I've been on ground. I was nearly killed. All right. During the August sit at home, Simon Ekpe declared for 2 weeks. Esther, I was in the East for 5 days, moving around. You won't see any youth in any way in the Southeast. You see people going about their business. At least I thought from Imo to Anambra to Enugu to Abia. You know, if you come to Lagos and come to Oshodi and see the Aburos, there will be this sense of fear that, I mean, rough guys are here. My sister, you will not see any rough-looking people that looks like people that will do anything. Now, the place you will find fear and the way they treat people are the military checkpoints. They will intimidate people. There was an altercation I had with them in Owerri. They asked me, they asked us to come down, which I came down. I came from Lagos that day. I came down. I was walking on, I never knew. So when I got to where an army man was, he said, madam, cross to the other side. I said, oh, and now realized I was the only person walking on that express start. And I'm trying to cross over. I saw that people were walking on poto water. And I asked the military man, you want me to first, madam? I said, Oga, is this what you have brought? You've turned us to slaves. I should wear my white shoe to go and match water. For what? Number one, you asked us to come down from the vehicles. And now you want me to go and mess myself. Why not you tell me to go and roll myself in that one? I'm not going there. The man, it was, see, I said, I will not go there. I'm going to part. You asked me to come down. And I've come down and you want me to go and join Poto. It was, now people just, all eyes was on us. One of their leader came out to confront. I said, madam, what is the issue? He said, madam, I said, Oga, I will not go there. Is this what you are brought here to do? I thought they brought you here to protect us and to ease movement. You've not kept us under siege. My sister, not the IPOB, they do that one. It's military. So I said, and
so you don't believe that even some of these elements, some of these persons that we see that they apprehended somehow, somewhere, that they say, oh, these are the guys, they use IPOB to whatever. You don't believe that no individual that they caught there is responsible for anything that has to...
Somebody that consult crime rates, you will see that SouthEast will stay below. Because people move about. That is even why it's paying me more. People move about their businesses. You can hardly... Those that attack, they attack in guerrilla style. They will come in, do what they want to, disappear. Because if you go to an area where that attack happened, you won't see any rough looking, they've disappeared. You understand? So like Soludo said, there might be people from other places, but what I'm saying is that these people are criminals. Treat them as criminals. Don't stay in the disguise of IPOB. These people are agitating. Listen to the agitation and address it. It's different from criminal activities. Because these criminal activities happens all over Nigeria.
Is it possible that the Southeast governors themselves are not speaking in one voice? The last time that there was a call for the demilitarization in the Southeast, that is for all the military camps and checkpoints there to be dismantled, the only governor who spoke, on behalf of that was Alex Uti. We've not heard other governors speak and say, okay, you know what? The militarization in the Southeast is overwhelming, is frustrating businesses, activities, and all of that. Can you guys reduce your guys or your men? So what is going on with the Southeast governors having one voice in tackling this?
I'll tell you something that will shock you and shock the whole Nigerians.
Okay, sure.
After I encountered the militaries in Osumuhu, when they now interrogated me up to where I was going to, after taking my passport, checking it, and now when they now asked me my kindred go, it now struck me. I told them to their face, I said, so you are the ones that have been collecting information and giving to kidnappers. Otherwise, what is your business with my family? Here is Osumuhu. I'm going to Nnewi South, and you want to collect information up to my family. So you guys did not just put us under siege, you are also involved in criminality. They went mad. They nearly shot. I never knew I would leave that place. They seized my car key. Yes, it got to the point where I told my brother, let us turn. I'm not following this route. They will call those guys to come and kidnap him. They are involved in kidnapping. They seized my key. And I told my brother, leave the key for them, let's go. So I think they went and called some of their maybe leaders or whatever. They drove and said, madam, go and take your key. I said, no, okay, let them keep the key. If you see the way they harass, there was one elderly man, that man should be around 74 years. The way they were harassing the man, the military, go in, come down. I said, is this what you are brought to do? How can the people come and embrace you when you came here? It's as if they went there for a different mission. They are not there to stop any sit at home. If there is any crime, I quote, if there is any crime going on around where the militaries are, call them, they will not answer you. It happens in the South.
Some of the residents have complained on several occasions.
Now, I went home after that ordeal. I went home, I couldn't hold my anger. I went in a place where people gather, and I was narrating my ordeal. A young man said, in that place, they seized my machine yesterday. If you let anybody go to Nnewi South and tell an Okada man, I want to go to Olo, take me with Okada, they will tell you they will never pass that Osumuhu. Why? It's not because of unknown gunmen. It's not because of military. The way they harass them. So I called the PG of that local government, and I said, Oga, I don't think there is no IPOB anywhere. I think the militaries are the ones. You know what the man told me? Madam, we know. Our hands are tied. Now, our fear is, since they brought in and started the cabal, if you pull them, now if we put pressure to pull them, they will now pour criminals, and they will say it's because you removed us. So that is the fear of most of the governors. Yes. Wow. It's like they did not know. It's like the administration of our former president was waiting, looking for a way to move into Southeast to do whatever he wants to do. Probably I think the war is still on in the Southeast. The war, what the militaries are doing is indirectly carrying on a war in guerrilla style in the Southeast. They are not there for any IPOB. Now, IPOB is now an excuse for them to now go in, and they'll state put. Another thing that will shock you now, I read where a lawyer petitioned the president that one militant is piling up arms. Now, my suspicion is we have uncovered they are going to arm another military to move them to Southeast. So what is happening in the Southeast? The governors knows that the federal government has a hand in it. The militaries, I challenge them. The list is they will put me in jail. I challenge them. They should leave IPOB alone. They should release Nnamdi Kanu. Now, if they say it's IPOB, let them release Nnamdi Kanu. Let us chat with him. Let us as mothers beg him to let us look for a way to present this case. But there is a case that IPOB is presenting before the federal government, and they have to listen. They must listen. Because we have come in the last 3 years, the military has not prosecuted anybody as IPOB member, they're caught. The next thing they shoot. They shoot. Those people that are shooting are people's children, our children. Now, this shooting is making our youth to leave Southeast in drones. What is their plan? So the governors and the PGs and the leaders' hands are tied. They are afraid.
So you completely disagree with what Joe Igbokwe is saying. Do you also disagree with the analysis, the synopsis that Chukuma Soludo gave in saying that 99% of those committing the thuggery, kidnapping and all of that in Anambra are Igbos? Do you disagree with what he said? And do you also agree with the Operation Udogachi, which is to commence next year?
I disagree with him totally. In the Southeast, if you move from Onitsha down to Umuahia, those occupying that houses are the Hausas.
Okay.
Right? Most of them speak Igbo. They live in the East now, they speak Igbo. So if you are using, they catch them and they speak Igbo to judge. It's like in Lagos, catching somebody because he speaks Yoruba, use it to judge that is Yorubas. Now let us learn how to call criminals and then punish them as criminals. The guy that tried to murder Donald Trump is an American. Yeah. They called him a criminal, they investigated, and they realized that the person's funding an American citizen is from Iraq. They said the guy said is an Iraqi or Iranian official or whatever. Now how can you catch a thief in the Southeast and you brand him Igbo? Now you are also calling your son a criminal because your son is an Igbo person. So please let them, if they catch criminals in the Southeast, let them treat them as criminals and not their Igbos. Or
place them under the umbrella of IPOB or Biafran.
Yes, then coming to the security, Soludo wants to raise. Is Soludo saying that the militaries are in the Southeast? The police, checkpoints all over the place, plus they are started the Kibon. Militia and the Ebubaga. That's 4. This 4 group of security personnel has been in the Southeast in an area that has no business with crime. Before these people moved in, there was no crime. They cannot combat crime until he now raise another Udogachi, Abi Udogachi. Please, let Anambra and beg Soludo. We've had enough, except if he will say, okay, the militaries, I can see that you can no longer combat the crime. Federal government, could you please withdraw the military? Let us raise another security. That's number 1. Number 2, please, he should not raise another Ebobago.
Okay.
Don't create a monster that will swallow you. You know what they don't understand is their positions aspires. He will come down and become a citizen. And whatever monster you create today, we befall you. But the only way it's annoying me is that most of these people will move their families abroad. You now see that they have no interest in the Southeast. They are using Southeast as a platform. No interest in the Southeast. They are using Southeast as a platform to grab jobs. In their old age, after they will now move their families to Southeast. And it is high time, not just in the Southeast, Nigerians should start demanding that before you vie for any particular office, your family must be here. So that if you are taking a decision, you first of all put your family into consideration. Because when you don't have any stake in a state you rule, what will be your interest? So it's easy for him to go and bring another, one thing. They will arm this youth. It's because of his 2025 governorship bid. That's why he's creating another militia like the ones Hope created in Imo State in the name of
so it has political
of course.
That will be used at the whims and caprices.
Of course. So if he is honest about it, before the military moved in, we have vigilantes. When they moved in, they disarmed all the vigilantes in the Southeast, especially in Imo State. They disarmed all the vigilantes. That was why this crime rate was high. So what Soludo needs to do is to call the PGs of communities for a meeting. Let them raise vigilantes. I must give kudos to the government of Enugu State.
Okay.
Do you know why? The only thing you hear from Enugu is kidnapping. You don't get to hear most of these things. I must give kudos to former governor of Enugu State, Ugwanya, and the current governor, Mba. If you go to Enugu, you will see what is called neighborhood watch. that neighborhood watch, and I'm using this opportunity to beg Enugu people to fund that neighborhood watch. Do a fundraising, raise their salary, so that we can get more responsible people to that outfit. They raise this neighborhood watch. Each village, each community raises based on their citizens. They inculcate their citizens into the neighborhood watch. So a stranger coming in, they know. And they know that they are protecting themselves and their family. Now, when you go to Bayelsa and bring someone to come and protect somebody in Anambra State, what will be that person's interest? Is to make money. If it means to steal. And then you know the kind of a person this person you are bringing. So if he is honest, if it's about security, he knows what to do. He should equip the vigilantes. Let each community raise a vigilante group that will protect them and see if the crime rate will not be down, and let them up the salary so that more responsible people. You cannot inculcate criminals to be securities. You are worsening the situation. This man will raise this group, use them to win his election. What becomes the aftermath? Now, the federal government moved Asidi Kibo to the southeast, got what he wants, left the man. He was not paying the man again. That was what caused their fight. That was how we knew. Asadi came to Channels TV to blow it open that this is what is going on in the southeast. Now they are not paying the guy. He cannot maintain those criminals. They moved there. What happens? They took over arms, to start committing mayhem in the southeast. So Soludo will also raise another group again to also move in Anambra and to worsen the security situation in Anambra State. So he should use vigilantes. And I'm also extending to hope to them, please remove your bag. It's not working now. The army is not working. Let them put the army and or whatever. Let them raise the vigilante that was there from the beginning. And there was peace.
All right, Madam Pinto, thank you so much. Let's take some reactions. The number to call is 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903, and the WhatsApp number is 0817 1756 338. Hello. All right, you can call 0700 103 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call, and send your WhatsApp messages to 0817 1756 338. Hello, thank you for joining us today. How are you?
Hello, good morning. This is Ben from USA.
Good morning, Ben. How are you?
I'm fine.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to really thank the lady that is speaking over there.
Okay, her name is Madam Pinto.
Madam Pinto, thank you so much.
Welcome.
That woman, she's speaking the heart of the youth. You understand? The youth are tired. I'm one of the youths that would have loved to come down to SouthEast, to my land, to develop my land. But because of the level of insecurity, because of the level of challenges in SouthEast, it's hard for me to come. I have a program that I want to do in SouthEast for the youth to at least help at least over 100 youths to create like skills and all that stuff. I'm calling from US, the things that I've learned. But the level, and I know so many majority of our youth have been calling. You understand? Wants these skills, all right? But we cannot get it because of the bad governance of on the level of insecurity in our land. And we are very, very 100% sure that the youth of our land are not the one causing this problem. Because they want the best for their own. I know IPOB have been there for a long time. When IPOB started, they started with black hats. Now tell me, would you be okay if somebody comes to your house and shoot your brother? What would you do? What would be your next reaction? For no reason. You want to protect your house. All right? That is exactly what is happening. When they send the military to SouthEast, when they send the people from Asari Dokubo to come and protect, and they kill your own brothers, people will have anger in their mind. If your own brother is killed for no reason and they target IPOB, what will happen? Everybody will be so angry. The youth are angry not because we're angry to commit. If the land is good, nobody will even look at IPOB. Nobody will look at what Nnamdi Kanu is doing, will not even matter. But the people are looking into those angles because the government have turned deaf ears to do something in our land, have turned deaf ears and let these governors destroy our land. Thank you so much. And please, before I end it, Soludo is nobody's. 99% of the youth does not support Soludo. He's only fighting for his own selfish interest, and he's a brother betrayer. He can sell the people of Igbos just for his own selfish reason. He's not doing anything. Thank you. All right.
Well done. Well done, Madam Pinto. You see, you have actually begun to create that voice, just like you resounded. All right, let me take some messages too. Sensible human being cannot reply to some certain people such as Joe Igbokwe, Renaud Mockery and co that are seeking for their political selfish interests. Joe Igbokwe doesn't even know his village again because he's been disowned for long. If not, ask him who in his village cancelled for 5 years. Anek from Ushodi. Okay, hello, good morning, how are you?
Yeah, good morning, Mazi from Germany.
Mazi from Germany. Mazi, please go ahead.
Yeah, my guests are a beautiful lady.
Yeah.
Lord Chimeze. Please, Joe Igbokwe. Joe Igbokwe was the man who took Igbo people, some Igbo people in Lagos to Oba of Lagos. When that Oba of Lagos made that comment, that the lagoon, I don't want to repeat what he said here, but that lagoon, comment, it was Joe Igbokwe that led that group to that man, and they were clapping, they were calling Kabiesio. Why the man was threatening them, they were clapping. This is the kind of Joe Igbokwe. Joe Igbokwe is a non-entity. Joe Igbokwe is just a political jobber. He wants job. He needs job. And those people, they feed on people's sorrow and agony. That's the kind of Joe Igbokwe. Then if we come to Asari Dokubo, last week he released another video. Maybe you can go and watch what he said on that video. He told his supporters who were there, those wearing blacks, that the money you are enjoying today is the money that those people from Anambra, fought for. Their sweat you are enjoying today. This is his latest video now that circulated last week. He was telling them, this money you guys are enjoying now, this money, some people died for it in Anambra and Imo State, is there. That's what he said at Sari Dokubo, and no government is arresting him. Nobody is telling him, what do you mean? Nobody.
So will not see him. Joe Igbokwe will not see him.
Esther, if you have time, go and listen to what this guy said last week on it. Not a hidden place, with his lieutenant, with his foot soldier.
We kill them. So they are afraid of him.
He was telling them that this money you are enjoying today, now somebody sweat in Anambra and Imo State. This is what he said. Then, and somebody is talking about, look, Madam Lord Smith has said it. In every society, there are criminals. Even here in Germany, where we live, there are criminals. When you catch them, prosecute them and then punish them. Everybody must not be like, if you come here in Germany, there's a group called Nazi group, neo-Nazis. You catch them, you put them into prison, or you commit them to court. Right. Then you see. Excuse me, finally, my sister, you are a journalist. Please help us to do these things. Before Buhari came, there was Nnamdi Kanu, there was IPOB. 2015, please go to that clip where Martin Dennis is a reporter, a journalist from Al Jazeera, was asking Buhari, why did you go to SouthEast? People who were just protesting only had flags, and you killed them. You and he wanted to show Buhari the clip. Buhari said, no, I don't want to see it.
We watched that.
That interview. Is when, yes, he watched it, right? So this is where the problem started. Where the problem started. The problem started in Igbo land, not because of IPOB, not because of Nnamdi Kanu, but because of the hatred of Igbo people. And Buhari started it, and this government is continued. Exactly. And Igbo leaders are just not leaders, sorry, rulers. They are using them like somebody like Sopos or them and Soludo. Soludo even 2022 went to see Nnamdi Kanu and said that Nnamdi Kanu's release is the solution to South security. That was 2022, May 2022. He visited Nnamdi Kanu in the prison. Today he's sounding he's talking another thing, right? Because he's looking for election is coming next year, and he wants to serve as the second time. Yeah, and that's what he's trying to do.
All right, let's take my
I'm sorry for them. I'm sorry for them.
Thank you for calling. All right, 0700 903 903 903. Hello. Okay, 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. And then the WhatsApp number is 0817 1756338. Good morning, Esther. The Lord bless you and this wonderful woman. She's on point. Please, this program needs to be available for repeat listening. I'm Yoruba, but I understand better even now. Southeast people are hardworking people, and I believe this program has given credence to my affirmation. God bless you. Simisola Isolo Lagos. Well done, Simisola. This person says, IPOB is a peaceful organization that doesn't want trouble. Good morning, Esther. How are you doing? Soludo creating another security outfit in Anambra is a waste of time and cannot yield anything. Let him meet with the PGs or Haneza Indibo, with the Indiezes, even with our legislators in the National Assembly to work out how peace will return. To Joe Igbokwe, he doesn't know what is happening in the Southeast. He is interested to help APC to take over the Southeast. He is described as an outcast and nobody regards him. He wants to work for his slave masters to come in, but they will fail. Let them come together to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and that the total peace will come back in the region and beyond. Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. You?
I'm fine. This is C2, right?
And yes, and salute my sister, Madam Pinto. Esther Wachuku, I want to quote Asarito Kubo now. Vividly. He says the money that they are eating comes from their sweat. Okay? It comes from their sweat. So the sweat is kidnapping and killings. Anambra and Imo states. Not in fact the whole Alibo entirely. This is Asari Dokubo saying it on air. And Igbo politicians, none of them can say, but wait a minute, what exactly this man is saying? They keep quiet. Now, the reason why Soludo, let me say.
Hello?
Let me say something about Soludo. Soludo says the reason why Soludo came out and make this comment he made, right? Esther, we will tell you something, go and verify it. Okay? We don't carry propaganda. We have our source of information, and which is spot on. So one of the IPOB leaders came on Saturday and tell Soludo that your FVG security, some of them are criminals and they're kidnapping. He called names. I will listen to the brokers because I want to know exactly what is happening in our land. He calls Soludo attention that your FVG, some of them are criminal and some of them are doing some horrible job. It does not go well with Soludo. Soludo come out and make this comment. We do know. We know. Even in his own house there, we have people that told us, look at what Soludo is thinking at the moment. So these people in Igbo land, they have failed our people. So they should pack and leave. What they do, when they loot, they go to abroad. Okay, where is Obiano today? Where is him? Igbo land is peaceful until Buhari came. We know exactly what is happening in our land. IPOB is never a violent organization, and they know this. They should release Nnamdi Kanu. And as another couple should be whole responsible. We all know everything that is happened. That is why when I came here, I called some neighbor. We know his own activities. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, C2. All right. 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good morning. How are you? Hello, Dennis. Good morning, Mr. Dennis.
God bless you.
How are you, sir? What's your name? What's your location? What's your location, sir? What's your location?
I want to bless you, madam.
Mr. Dennis, what's your location, sir?
Oh, I'm speaking from
I'm
speaking from Ago.
All right, Ago. Mr. Dennis, go ahead.
I'm speaking.
Yes, go ahead.
Ago.
All right,
I'm speaking from Ago.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Bless you, Madam Pinto. Madam Pinto, God bless you. I always like to listen to your voice. Every day I hear your voice, I'm always happy. because you always come to the studio and you tell us what is happening in our place. You hide it, not like all these leaders, so-called politicians that we have, who does not even want to say the truth. They always like to conceal. It depends that your children are going through there. Every day you come to the station and you will say the truth. May God will continue to protect you.
All
no
right.
evil will befall you. You will continue to this word. Madam Pinto, go on and continue speaking the truth. We know the enemies of our people. You can see what Soludo. He was the same person who carried Obi and come to TV. He wrote a paper concerning Obi want to presidency. Soludo
Dennis,
how many?
your network is really poor. All right.
So my people, that is it. I hope you truly enjoy watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Share the video to your friends and family, and also give me a thumbs up so that YouTube will recommend this video to other people to watch. Thank you everyone. I truly appreciate your love and support here on my channel. May Almighty God bless you all. Yes, I'm going to see you guys in my next update. Goodbye for now.
Welcome to Journalistic.